Alrighty. What is going on this week? Couple of things. No big deal.
Been a relatively slow week for news worldwide.
Yeah, not much happening, 2026 State of the Game Industry report finds that, according to a GDC survey, 33% of the respondents were laid off over the last 2 years. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. A solid third.
I talked about this in the Reddit thread that was on the subreddit about this, where when's the crash in video games going to happen? I'm like, we covered it. We talked about layoffs for like 70 podcasts in a row.
Friend, I would like you to stand up where you are as you listen to this. Look outside and just look around. That's the crash. You are standing in it. It is in the room with you right now. You are breathing in the video game industry crash as we speak, actually. Little did you know. I admittedly the headline is the headline is like a bit not misleading, but it does imply that this is speaking of the whole thing, but it's more like the people that answered the survey, that were 23,000 people that they asked. Of the 2,300 people that they asked, a third of them were laid off over the last 2 years. So that's the state of affairs. And this is
fairly large as a sample size, I have to actually say.
It is, and this is again, just people attending GDC, right? Including people in the industry that are currently not employed, that are still showing up.
So if that's people attending GDC, that means the actual number is significantly higher, because many people who have been laid off cannot go to GDC because they are broke.
In fact, most of the time when I know people that do go to GDC, that is something that is afforded by the company that they work for. But yes, that is one of the things they were able to get from that survey. So, hey, guess what? As we describe it every week, just a slow, boring, burning implosion of the industry. A third of the folks are laid off in the past few years. And then the second piece of information that came from this survey was the change in how the discussion on AI, of course, feels to people in the industry. So
everyone's favorite technological innovation.
They asked people working in the video game industry a couple years ago, last year, and then this year, how do you feel about AI? And hey, guess what? Over 50% of game developers think it's a bad idea, and
just way up over last year.
And the sentiment, I'd rather quit the industry than use generative AI, on the rise. So when you just want to talk about the numbers, what do we got here?
We can get higher.
So high.
We can bully AI more.
Yep. So
it's a robot. It doesn't have feelings, and neither do the CEOs behind it.
It's funny enough. What percentage were currently using Gen AI in their work? 33%, the exact percentage of people that were laid off in the last 2 years.
Wow.
Interesting on that.
That's short-sighted.
52% of the 2,300 respondents said they think it has a negative impact on the industry. Compared to 2 years ago, that number was 18%, and last year it was 30%. So the mood is clearly moving in a direction. And then, in the opposite opinion, those that believe Gen AI is good for the industry, last year it was 13%. This year it's 7%. And then when it comes to the people, the roles of the people and devs that are responding here, the people least likely to approve are who you'd expect. So artists, designers, writers, programmers, aka the people who make the video game.
Yeah.
And the people who are more likely to use it are the upper management at 47%, using tools more than the lower decks, etc. So, hey, would you look at that? the CEOs and the management are much, much, much more likely to be approving of and to use AI than the employees they hire and literally everyone that actually makes the things that you play.
If only there was an incredibly clear, concrete reason, documentation, if you would, for why we should not listen to anyone high up in a managerial position of any company.
You mean just like in
It's a
general?
shame.
In general?
Yeah,
like
in general,
broad strokes?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Well, in unrelated news, hey, did you know that the financier, Jeff Epstein, you know that?
Oh, the New York financier?
Yeah, that guy. Oh
yeah, what's up with him?
You'll never guess what he's been up to.
What's he been up to?
He got banned from Xbox Live.
He got banned for Xbox Live?
Got banned from Xbox Live.
For what?
Initially it said harassment, but then it turns out it's because he was on the no-no list. And once you're on the no-no list, that gets you banned from Xbox Live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The financier.
You know what's weird? You know what's really strange?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you knew this. In fact, I tested your knowledge about this before we started the podcast, and I know you don't know this, but did you know that Jeffrey Epstein, the New York financier, actually had a friend high up in a bunch of game companies, and he could have probably gotten unbanned if he felt like it?
Really? He could have just called a friend.
It turns out he was buddies with friend of the show, Bobby Kotick.
No shot.
And in 2013, he was the one who convinced Bobby Kotick to go super hard on Activision's microtransactions.
You don't say.
That's
financier,
right.
New York financier.
I'm all into making an economy for children.
Yeah.
I did not think there would be a legitimate, like, one-to-one podcast topic that would be appropriate for this subject, but turns out Jeffrey Epstein invented the microtransaction economy for video games.
I mean,
that Mona Lisa painting of all the DLC cut out?
Yeah.
That's an Epstein original.
We tend to stick to video game evil, you know?
Yeah. Well, this is some pretty big video game evil.
I just like everything. That's crazy.
Wow, it's a lot, huh? Boy, video games, I mean.
There's so much that's straight wow. That is one subject that I never would have thought would point all the way back to Jeff Epstein, the financier.
The New York financier,
that subject in particular, that one topic, I never would have imagined that he was the mastermind behind that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So at this point, honestly, Woolie, if there's something that bothers you, just tip a tappa, and it's probably.
Whew. Well, yeah, that's incredible. That's wild.
It's on the nose for the show, isn't it?
It's a little bit on the nose, a little bit.
You remember 2013 when video games just started to get like worse and worse and more fucked up with the Wow, it's crazy. It was good old Jeffy Eppies.
I wonder how many other things can be tracked right back to that same source, you know? It's
You know what? I think that's a topic for a completely different podcast.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, who knows? I don't. Anyway, let me just move the fucking string cork board from out of the shot and onto the floor over here.
Well, I mean, you don't really need a corkboard anymore. You just need one big red string.
You need a browser. In fact, yes, you can kind of do that. Punch Mom is getting exhausted, dude. Like getting tired of just hearing about it. Just tired of hearing about it.
Yeah, I bet.
Like some mornings in the middle of breakfast, it'll just be like, okay, what was it this time? Just go. Just spit it out. Just go.
Bitcoin, right. Really? Bitcoin? Wow.
Oh man. All right. Anyway. Moot. Anyway.
Oh no.
What?
You could say that point is moot. Hey.
That point is moot. That's what I was getting at. It's a completely moot point. Listen, video games are happening, and sometimes instead of, while your company is being burnt to the ground, it's really easy. If it would be nice if, let's say, you had about a couple employees and you're trying to fire them, but the place that you are set up makes it difficult to do that. You can how about a fire yourself employment contract, everybody? How about if Ubisoft can get about 200 employees at the Paris HQ to agree to a negotiated termination contract? They don't have to then lay them off the traditional way. And it makes it a lot easier.
Go on fucking strike there in Paris.
No, but if you listen on a voluntary basis, you let yourself out. You self terminate from Ubisoft. And then for economic reasons.
I just searched Ubisoft Paris strike. Call goes out for massive international strike at Ubisoft due to 5 separate unions in France ratcheting up the pressure. Yeah, no, you can't tell. They're French. You can't tell them to do it.
Again, for every time we've talked about like the labor laws in Europe and how that fucks up what a company like Ubisoft would love to do, as they do over here in North America. You get these types of weird stories where Ubi begs employees to please quit. Actually, no, if you wouldn't mind. S'il te plaît. S'il vous plaît. If it would please you.
Je pense que je vais rester ici maintenant.
Oh, If it would please you, could you please maybe leave? Please.
No, je plais pas.
Yeah. It's the funny part is that let's say you're like many that would be like, fuck that, right? I'm getting, because they're trying to make the incentive, obviously. Just imagine the motivation being at a company that was like, hey, could you please quit? And you're like, nah, fuck that. And then just the vibe, of like, okay, so let's be real. You're going to be grabbing your resume anyways as you watch the flames around you, but in the meantime, get your fucking benefits, get what you are entitled to.
Please quit. How about you please suck my ass? Fuck you, bitch.
What if we gave you a limited edition copy of Beyond Good and Evil 2 if you quit? Would you?
What if I gave you one of these, monsieur? For those of you at home who are not watching, I'm holding up my middle finger outstretched.
Just God damn. Yeah, man. It's getting desperate out there. It's getting pretty rough.
Yeah.
But anyways, whatever. Moving on with that. There's some other, like when you want to talk about the ebbs and flows of the industry, you can just do it the classic Keiji Inafune style and just have your entire company.
You get fucking fired.
Well, Concept has dissolved like Keiji Inafune did at the end of that Kickstarter for Mighty Number 9. It has faded away, full opacity. In fact, Concept died 2 weeks ago, and we just found out about it.
Yeah.
So there's something a little appropriate to that, because instead of exploding into a bunch of blue balls going pew 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 pew, it just kind of,
that's too much dignity for him.
It just faded to 0%.
Yeah. He doesn't have the right to die like a hero like Mega Man.
And really, like, are you gonna try? Like, what power do you get from dying Concept? Oh no, Mega Man's in jail.
Oh no, I took credit for things I didn't do.
Cha-chink.